G'day guys, let's talk about a game that honestly feels like a fever dream right now. Crimson Desert. We've all seen it. I've been obsessing over every single scrap of hands-on preview out there, and I keep bouncing between two extremes. Half of me is saying, this is going to be the greatest game of the generation, and the other half is screaming, this is going to be an absolute bloated mess. Pearl Abyss is dropping this behemoth on March 19th, 2026, and they're trying to cram everything under the sun into one $110 package, depending on where you're from. Seriously, it's an open world action adventure. Wait, no, it's a combo heavy fighting game. Actually, it's a medieval simulator where you can ride dragons, pilot mechs, build bases, and German suplex your enemies. But is this genius? Or is it just feature creep on steroids? Let's get into it. First off, let's talk about the scale. The devs are out here claiming the map of Paywell is twice the size of Skyrim and bigger than Red Dead Redemption 2. Honestly, when I first heard that, my heart actually sank a little bit. We all know the trap of an open world game. Wide as an ocean, shallow as a puddle. But looking at the new BlackSpace engine footage, it genuinely looks incredible. You got real-time physics, crumbling buildings, dynamic weather, and insane verticality with these floating islands. It's not just a big flat map, but here's my personal take. A huge map means absolutely nothing to me if I'm just holding the sprint button on a horse for 20 minutes with nothing to do. The devs claim it's a living world where discovery happens organically, without the usual map marker vomit you see in Ubisoft games. I want to believe them, but I'm terrified of it feeling empty. Which brings me to my biggest concern. What is this game? Just a few days ago, the marketing director literally had to come out and clarify it's not an RPG. Wait, what? No character creators, no traditional XP, and no leveling systems. It's purely an action-adventure with gear progression. To me, it feels like it's suffering from a massive identity crisis. Remember, this started as an MMO prequel to Black Desert Online, pivoted to a co-op game, and now it's a single-player narrative game. It wants the grit of The Witcher 3, the physics puzzles of Tears of the Kingdom, the immersion of Red Dead 2. And mechs? Seriously? Sci-fi mechs in medieval fantasy game. I'm all for ambition, but this feels like a collage of mechanics from the last 10 years of gaming. If it doesn't have its own distinct soul, it's just going to feel completely disjointed. But let's talk about the combat, because this is where my hype actually spikes. It's not a Souls-like. Thank God. I think we have enough of those right now, and I suck at all of them. People have actually gotten hands-on time are saying it's more like Street Fighter or Tekken. It's a fighting game built into an open world. You've got combos, directional inputs, and moves that string together dynamically. I absolutely love the idea of grappling a guy and throwing him into the dirt, but there is a catch. Some of the previews from recent events mention the controls are insanely complicated and the large-scale battles get super chaotic. It's a massive risk if you make an open-world game where I need to memorize fighting game inputs just to survive a random mob, you're going to alienate a lot of casual players. But personally, I think a steep learning curve might be exactly what this game needs to stand out from the button-mashing crowd. There is one massive win I have to point out. They've confirmed there's no microtransactions at launch. You buy the $110 game, you get the game, which I've talked about in a previous video. Coming from the studio that made Black Desert Online, which is notorious for its cash shop, this is a massive sigh of relief. So, back to the main question. Is Crimson Desert too big to succeed? Honestly, yeah, it might be. Feature creep is the silent killer of great games. Trying to be everything to everyone usually means you end up being nothing to anyone. A 100-hour game with 50 shallow, disconnected systems is far worse than a tight, focused 20-hour experience. But man, I want this to work. I really do. I want this crazy, beautiful, suplex-throwing, dragon-riding monstrosity to absolutely blow my mind next month. If Pearl Abyss actually pulls off tying all these wildly different mechanics together into a cohesive game, it's gonna be legendary. But what do you guys think? Are you completely hyped? Or is this setting off all your too-good-to-be-true red flags? Let me know down in the comments, and if you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like button and subscribe for more. Catch you in the next one.